Driver fatigue, alcohol and speeding are the biggest causes of fatal crashes on country roads. But in some areas, roaming stock are also a deadly hazard. In northwestern Australia's Kimberley region, cars hit hundreds of escaped cows each year. But even though several laws require pastoralists to control their animals, there have been no prosecutions. A grieving family is leading a campaign to get the cattle off the roads, as Erin Park reports, and a warning to Indigenous viewers that this story contains images of people who have died.
We've always been a close-knit family, I can remember.
Historically, we don't come from the Kimberley, so we sort of came in this part of the country on our own, and so that's part of the nature too, our closeness.
Yeah, Mummy coming.
Family is everything to Patrick Davies and his sisters. But another thing that's united them in recent years is grief. For Patrick's two nephews, killed after hitting a cow in their ute on the Great Northern Highway east of Broome.
That's the eldest boy with his youngest son, his only son. Happy-go-lucky person. Got along with everybody.
The Gilboy brothers were aged 21 and 24 when they died.
Yeah, I was at work when it happened. The police came and they told me my son's had an accident. If that animal wasn't on the road, they'd still be alive today. They'd still be alive today.
Any time, whether it's day or night, your life and your safety is at risk because of stray cattle on these highways. That's just a fact.
It's a deadly hazard across regional Australia. Sheep and cattle roaming onto roads, causing fatal crashes and causing millions of dollars damage to vehicles. It's become a hot-button political issue in northern Western Australia, where every year there are more than 500 vehicle strikes.
Pastoralists have a responsibility to make sure that their animals don't kill humans.
Every year, local MP Robin Chappell crisscrosses the remote northern roads, dodging escaped cattle as he goes.
It's the one that comes belting out of the scrub, which you don't see until it's there in front of you, which is the problem.
Just last year, he slammed into a bull, narrowly avoiding serious injury.
I saw the beast. I realised I was most probably going to impact it. I braked as hard as I could, wasn't able to pull up in time, but I hit the beast square on.
He started collecting photographs of the roadside carnage.
That's hit a beast.
For 5 years, he's been badgering successive governments, trying to have pastoralists held accountable for their stock.
It's really perplexing. There are laws, there are local government laws, and yet nothing is ever done.
The law is clear. Pastoralists are required to fence their animals. But despite multiple pieces of legislation, no WA stock owner has ever faced criminal charges. The problem is establishing who is to blame when animals escape.
Am I negligent because someone cut a fence? Am I negligent because someone left a gate open? I don't think I can be held responsible when something is totally out of my control.
Jack Burton runs one of the biggest family-owned cattle operations in the north. He runs thousands of cattle in scrub close to the highway.
Cattle get on the road and we get a message or someone tells us that there's cattle on the road, we go out and put them back in their paddock.
He says he's as frustrated as anyone about straying stock.
Probably our biggest problem that we have is gates getting left open by people fishing and hunting and going off the highway and even camping. We do our best, but no matter how many resources I throw at it, it's not going to shut all the gates.
He argues pastoralists need more government help to replace decades-old fences that are so run down they're useless.
They were put in cheaply 40 years ago and they've run their course, they're finished. So you know, this is not maintainable. This is something that needs to be totally pushed out, rolled up, buried, and then a new fence put in.
In recent years, the WA government has spent $12 million trying to fix the problem.
We do offer a 50% subsidy to a new fence at known hotspots, but that relies on the pastoral station on having responsibility for ongoing maintenance.
Some who rely on the roads for their livelihood are taking matters into their own hands. Each week, Wayne Parsons drives 5,000 kilometres, delivering freight to the northern tip of WA.
Yeah, I hit a couple of years ago. It's so scary because you just like hitting a brick wall. And you'd be going about 90 to 100 kilometres. The next minute your truck just slow right down, and the whole truck be more or less pushed in, the cab and everything else. So it is a real scary thing.
The situation has become so dangerous, his boss has spent $80,000 installing heat-sensing cameras.
It picks up all the heat signal from the wildlife, cattle and kangaroos. That's the best thing that our company ever did by putting these cameras in, was actually saved a few more cows that I didn't hit.
But for the thousands who travel these roads without the technology, the fast-moving cattle remain a constant threat.
Instead of everyone trying to figure out who to blame, how about everyone starts putting a bit of effort into saying, what's some of our solutions here? Maybe there is a shared responsibility here.
The one thing all agree on is that lives remain at risk.
People just accept the fact that cattle are there, and if you hit one, well, too bad.